Did you know that West Crete has some of the loveliest coastal cities in Greece? From Venetian harbours to old towns full of charm. Join us as we explore some of the beautiful backstreets and take a rather unusual boat ride at sunset. We began with a trip to Chania and found some very scenic parking by the harbour. The walk into town passes some wonderful old buildings, and the old town itself is a warren of ancient streets, steps and shops. We happily drifted as it's very hard to get lost for long, and there's always something wonderful to look at and eat. And if you're feeling in need of protection, it might be as well to pick up a little something featuring the evil eye. I was mesmerised by the jewellery, many pieces depicting important archaeological finds such as the Minoan Phaistos disc. The harbour is a lovely area to walk around and is where you'll find the mosque, which is the oldest Ottoman building in Crete, built in 1645 when the Turks captured Chania. The Venetian harbour was built over 300 years and includes the lighthouse, which you can walk out to along the wall. There are many restaurants along here and plenty of boat trips to take you out to sea. And you never know who you're going to spot here. Did you know poor Atlas still has the weight of the world on his shoulders? I hope my coin helped a little. But don't take a photo of him unless you throw him one too, because he will show his displeasure. The sun was gilding the sky and the crowds were beginning to gather at the lighthouse to watch the sunset. We walked past some of the old Venetian shipyards. And spotted a boat with my name on it. And a few cats and dogs enjoying the evening just as we were. While many people were enjoying an evening meal or sitting watching the setting sun, we decided to hop on one of the boats that was heading out for a sunset cruise. Only ours was a little bit different. Sea Adventures is no ordinary boat. It's a semi-submarine which allows up to 12 passengers at a time to get a glimpse of the bottom of the sea through its glass windows. So, drinks in hand, we left the harbour for our little adventure. This is a wonderful way to see Chania and get a different perspective of the mosque, the harbour walls and lighthouse. And it was a really relaxing way to end a busy day of sightseeing. Once we'd left the harbour and were out at sea, we couldn't wait to venture below deck. And it was fun to realise just how fast we were going. Every so often, the boat would stop to give us a chance to take a look around. And it was so exciting to enter into this secret world below the water to see who lives there. There were only 4 of us on board that evening, and we all split our time both below and above deck. I loved seeing the land from the sea, and we had great views of the Lefka Ori, or White Mountains. The lighthouse and our captain saw us safely back to shore. And we joined the evening tourists along the harbour before bidding a very fond farewell to this lovely coastal city. Our next port of call was Rethymno, and the drive along the coast was stunning. But do be careful where you park, as you might get a seawater shower. Rethymno is about halfway between Chania and the capital Heraklion, and like Chania has a stunning Venetian harbour and lighthouse dating from the 14th century. But this place is a lot smaller and has a really charming atmosphere. Again, like Chania, there's an Ottoman-era mosque which can be seen from all over the town. But it's the Rethymno fountain in the old town which really attracts the crowds. Built in 1626 with fabulous Corinthian columns, it attracts birds, hot and thirsty tourists, and is perfect for cooling hot feet and paws. The old town is delightfully shady with plenty of flowers and greenery. And we enjoyed a light lunch at Taverna Stavros before exploring the streets and shops. I was keen to see the archaeological museum here, which is housed in part of a 16th century monastery. I love a small regional museum and discovering what they have inside. This place has just one room, but it's packed with treasures like jewellery, a fascinating clay grater, and beautifully decorated cups, urns, and sarcophagi painted with hunting scenes. I love the statue of Aphrodite, who rests her right foot on a goose, one of her sacred animals. But let's leave Aphrodite behind now and head to the northwest corner of Crete and the town of Kissamos. We visited on a day that definitely wasn't ideal for swimming. It was hard to believe that this was the Aegean, but it had its own special wild beauty. Perhaps Perhaps Poseidon, the Greek god of the sea, was having a bit of a tantrum. One thing was certain, there wouldn't be any ferries leaving from the port at Kissamos today. Not surprisingly, the seaside restaurants were closed, and we decided not to walk along the harbour, but headed into town, passing the Venetian castle. We had lunch in the centre of town, and there was just time for one more archaeological museum. It was full of wonderful mosaics and treasures recovered from the seabed, including some amazing amphora. I had lots of fun looking at all the quirky details, including the first carved squid I've ever seen. And I loved this cabinet of coins with its magnifying glass. Some items raise interesting questions like, who did this torso belong to? And who owned this lovely panhandle featuring a dog's head? Thank you so much for joining us on our tour of West Crete. Do subscribe to the channel and look out for our other videos from this beautiful island.